Independently of music, language produces works that express the most fleeting realities of our lives and affectivity. Short poems, epics, tragic or comic plays, novels. The word poetry has specialized in designating this production, just as the word wisdom has specialized in designating the most perfect speculative knowledge. Their Greek equivalents, poiesis and sophia, first name respectively, all production, even servile, and all expertise, such as that of the sage pilot, the sage carpenter. In French, midwives are still named sage-femme. We have gone from the observation that he who knows how to do excels in acting and doing, said wise within the limits of his field, to a point wise in short, the one who knows what deserves most to be known, being in possession of the highest human excellence, wisdom. Similarly, after having called any producer of anything a poet, we have reserved this title for those who produce the noblest work, using the most intimately human material, the word. Moreover, the word fiction, of the same origin, on the side of Latin, is reserved for the designation of what works of literature present in common. They are human invention, not natural realities. The poet imagines characters, facts, situations, things which represent those we are and those we live, so that we recognize ourselves and come to know ourselves better. To do this, he arranges words into comparisons, metaphors, and other various figures of speech that suggest links, similarities, differences. Poetry thus helps the language to refine itself in order to become able to express any nature as adequately as possible. The more a literature is enriched, the more adequate its language becomes for discovering and developing wisdom, queen of leisure activities and ultimate perfection of our intelligence. To borrow a few more formulations from Thomas de Koning, literature brings before the eyes and revives the essential problems of freedom, good and evil as they are really lived in the thicket of contingency, within circumstances always unprecedented, of infinite variety. It helps to live the ineffable of our condition, to free from anxiety by making better see what is universal. It appeals to human discourse, to the most perfect, the most expressive, the most nuanced symbols, words. It does not mean this or that as other symbols can do, but human thoughts and feelings, at the service of which it puts style, rhythm, grammar, idiom, eloquence, metaphors, the considerable panoply of means at its disposal. Words can no more be separated from thought than the concave and convex of a curve can be separated from each other. There is therefore no substitute for literature. An important effect of liberal art, especially of theater and music, is the purgation it carries out of our surplus of negative emotions, especially fear and pity, making us feel them to the extreme in the occasion of fictional situations. Aristotle calls this effect catharsis, from the Greek name of purgation, because just as the purgation of the digestive system makes it possible again to ingest food profitably, so the purgation of affectivity makes possible to feel emotions again in a balanced way, in proportion to the events that give rise to them. Anxiety according to Jean-François Raymond, closes minds and not only makes them unfit for the new, but even affects through subtle mechanism their mnemonic capacity. The importance of poetry on the development of intelligence and the balance of affectivity is especially visible in the damage that its absence inflicts on the child. George Steiner writes, "The story told to a child, the tale read to him, the ballad that perhaps unconsciously he memorizes touches his heart, depriving a child of the enchantment of history, of the ravishment of the poem written or oral, is like burying him alive. It is to immerse him in the void,